Well, hey everybody. Just got home from work and wanted to take advantage of this little bit of daylight here and just do a quick little boiler video on just wood and loading it, and just a few comments about it and stuff like that. I'll show you. I'll throw some wood in there and stuff here, and then I'll come back later and kind of revisit it inside the firebox and just kind of show you how things burn in there and things of that nature. But just to kind of take a look at, it's 509, so that way you can kind of see. I loaded this up at I got a late start today, 6:30 this morning, and then the weather is frigid here this week. It got up to 10 degrees today, and it's going to be getting down to about -10 tonight, and highs in the single digits, lows negative for the next couple days here. So that's the kind of weather we're dealing with. It's either really cold here or really windy, one of the two. But kind of the wood that I've been burning, it's all 2-3-year-old dry oak and ash and some maple for the most part. I'll get into that more later, but that is the biggest thing that you can do right there for as far as the ease or the headache of operation of these units. It all comes back to that firewood there. So we'll do a little more on that later, but I'll just kind of show you what's left here after all day. It just got done running a fan cycle, so it'll probably crank up. That might be pretty tough to see there. Let's see if I can get a light on it here. So that's basically what I got left here after burning all day. So we'll get this thing loaded up, and then I'll come back and show you it before I close the door up. All right, got the headlamp on here so you can see better. So I got this loaded up here for the night. Like I say, it's probably about a 3/4, 2/3, 3/4 full firebox. So this is probably, given the temperatures that we got tonight with the -10 coming in, that's probably about twice as much as what I would put in for, say, a 30-degree night, to give you some idea. But I got that locked down here. I will come back, and later on tonight I'll kind of give you an update on where that's at. Alright, so quick update here. It is currently -2 out, and we're at 9:16. So just to give you an idea of what we've been dealing with here, but I'm gonna try to get my gloves on here and show you a little bit about how these gasification boilers work. So I just got off of a burn that topped out, so the water temperature is at 188, which my high set point's at 185, but it goes up after it shuts down. Hope we don't get a fireball here. So this has been burning for I think the last update was at a little after 5, so you know, about 4 hours. But this is how these work. I can take a piece off the top of this wood. You know, this has been in the boiler for over 4 hours, and you can take these pieces out yet. They've not burned. I mean, they're charred from smoke and everything, but they haven't burned yet because this fire burns upside down. So that just gives you a little bit of an idea of how these gasification boilers work. Alright guys, it's the next morning. It is, get my phone out here. See my weather app, a nice blistering -10 degrees out this morning. So I'll just kind of show you what's left in there after overnight. So if you can see, got a couple sticks, but there's a lot of coals in there and everything. Like I say, it's pretty cold out today, but yeah. So now I'll load it up here for the next for the day for the next 12 hours, and we'll be good until dinner time. All right, guys. I just wanted to do a little bit of a recap to that, as I said in the beginning. Talk about the firewood and everything, but wanted to do it inside here where it's pretty warm. Like I said, the weather here has been pretty cold. We're in for another cold stretch here tonight, into the negative double digits again. But like I had commented on, the firewood's your most critical thing as far as for how well the gasification boiler is going to work or it's not going to work. And I've found out that the hard way, like probably most everybody else, in that the first couple of years that I was burning, I didn't have the premium firewood that I really needed to make the most of it. And in fact, it got quite frustrating that I was reaching out for help to other people, ideas, suggestions, because it wasn't burning correctly, because I was having a lot of creosote issues and things like that. When you look at the Classic Edge from Central Boiler, when they first came out, the access hatch to the heat exchangers was actually through the back of the boiler, which, you know, from a functionality standpoint, didn't really make a lot of sense for cleaning, because of having to, you know, if things got gunked up, you'd have to go in through the back of the boiler. You know, and that was a frustration for a lot of people, that they'd have to shut down in the winter when things got gunked up. Heat exchangers weren't working to clean those. Now, on my model, they got that access through the back, which is a lot more convenient. But early on, I was still having a lot of issues with that, where I'd be out there every week spending 20 minutes, half an hour trying to clean the heat exchangers, having issues with it, things like that. And it all kind of came back to the fact that I wasn't burning dry enough, small enough split wood. Once I've gotten, you know, ahead in the wood production to where I'm burning, you know, wood that's been seasoned for 2-3 years, and split that long, I'm having zero issues now, to the point where I can clean the heat exchangers out in 30 seconds and it's effortless. And that's really, I think, the way that this machine was engineered to operate. You know, you look at those older units, and if you're burning dry wood like this, they're going to operate much better, and you're never going to have to go through the firebox to get to the heat exchangers, because the cleaning methods they have in place, or that they designed, works efficiently for that. So that's, I guess, what I can say about that. If you're looking at one of these units, if you're expecting to burn wood like a traditional boiler, it's not going to work for you, and don't think for a second that it could work for you. And lastly, just to address a comment I've got a lot in the last video of a lot of creosote buildup, or the last boiler video, but a lot of creosote buildup in the firebox. With the way these things operate, that's really, it's unavoidable. I'm burning the driest possible wood next to kiln drying wood this year, and there's still a lot of creosote buildup in the firebox. So you think about how these run, they operate, you know, from your low set point to your high set point. So they're burning. When you get to that high set point, they shut down and they stop and they smolder. Well, all that heat, smoke, everything that's in there basically just gravitates to the walls, and then where it's cooler there than the temperature of inside, you know, it's collecting there. I don't see any way to avoid that, and it's really not any risk of anything. And the proof is in, you know, you look at the heat exchangers. there's just a dry dust powder on the heat exchangers for me right now, versus you don't have any of that tar like buildup that you'll get when you're burning wet wood and everything. So I think that about does it. I hope this helps. Hope it will at least answer some questions for some of you out there that might be looking at these units. And like I say, if you got any questions, feel free to reach out to me. And I appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with your friends. Thank you.